Old Gillie's not getting it today. I don't know what its deal is. The thing looks so incredible and lifelike. As I've been out here fishing, one thing that's kept coming to my mind over and over again is identity. You know, we watch all those guys fishing, logos, patches everywhere. A lot of them are sponsors, and a lot of them, you know, are just looking to find their self-worth in that. Not speaking for everyone. I know from experience, I speak of that. I remember my first opportunity, you know, was with Falcon rods, and they gave us rods, and I thought that was such a big deal to have the Falcon shirt, have this, just for a few measly rods. Now, they're great rods, love them, but, you know, I found some worth for myself in the fact that they gave me a rod to use. Several years ago, started going through the book of Colossians and really digging into it and learning what my identity was in Christ, who I was because of him. You know, in today's world, you know, so many of us identify ourselves. You know, even our passions and our pursuits are skewed because we chase them to make ourselves feel better, to identify with those, to be someone maybe, not necessarily that we're not, but to find our self-worth in those. Whether it's the fish we catch, the game we harvest, the people we hang around, all of those things. When truly our self-worth is in Christ, he's accomplished it all. You know, one of the first things as men that you run into a guy, the sandbar that everybody hangs out on is right behind me, you know, and it'll be full of people, and the first thing you talk to people about is, hey, how you doing? How's work? How's business? And everybody says, busy. When you're meeting somebody new, hey, what are you doing? What do you do for a living? You know, what do you do? They're curious because we find our identity in that. When we do that, we have a certain expectation that we have to live up to in our minds. Then it becomes controlling to us because we're trying to live out this character that we've made. You know, when we find our identity in Christ and realize that ultimately he's in control, it doesn't matter how good or bad business is, how fishing is, how anything is. When we are rooted in that and our identity in him as a child of God, guess what? It takes all the pressure off of us. You know, a lot of my life I've wanted to live free. Been in church, heard people talk about living free, living this, and, you know, I just never really got it. But I'm starting to realize the older I get, that being free is surrendering to him, and it's relinquishing that control and realizing that it's his grace, that it's his love, that it's his mercy, that it's all him. It's not my performance. It's not how well I do. It's not how business is going. It's not how many docks or seawalls that we build. My identity is in Christ. Not only is my identity in Christ work-wise, but in other pursuits, whether it's fishing, whether it's hunting, the things that I love, it's him. It's him.